It's Protocol with Nicky Romero.
Hey guys, welcome everyone to this brand new episode of Protocol Radio. And this week we have new music by Krewella and Borgeous, a fresh track of the week by Made in June. And you actually write that next to each other, Made in June. We're starting off with Jochen Miller and Cubic here for the first time on the radio.
Protocol Radio with Nicky Romero. Nicky Romero.
I
Afrojack just left the studio, and we were just listening to some songs, and we both kind of agreed that will.i.am is kind of one of the most genius songwriters of the moment, and this guy just puts out hit after hit record, of course, next to Pharrell. But you know, it's just insane. If you listen to all his songs, whatever he released, everything just got a hit. So this shout out to this is like a shout out to will.i.am. So I'm not sure if you're listening, but if you're listening, this one goes out to you. You just heard Baggi, Begovic and Team Bastian, I Know You. And before that you heard Rehab versus Copyright featuring Shovell, Kama Samarurai in the Ryan Ferdinand mashup. And it's time for the top 3. Martin Garrix on number 3 with Wizard in the Tom and JAME remix.
Protocol Radio, weekly top 3.
Put your hands up.
celebration, bitch, it is. Everybody jump, come on. It miss. Everybody jump, come on.
Borgeous was her #1 record this week. They just released an album, and I'm proud to be part of the collaborations they've done in the past. Krewella, Enjoy the Ride in the Vicetone remix. Before that, the #2, Borgeous, Celebration, and I think that's the first time we played it on the radio.
shades on, with your shades on, just to bring me something to eat. You the man up in these streets, but when it comes to my heart, that don't mean a thing good.
Baby, hop in my ride. Ooh, it's hot as hell outside. Got the top down with your doors closed. My hand upon your thigh.
Drive slow, take your time, and it won't stop. And it won't stop.
For you is constantly, forever and ever, on beat, and it won't stop.
My summer rain. Every day,
and it won't stop. Forever and ever, on beat, and it won't stop.
Welcome back to the second half of Protocol Radio. You just heard Sevyn Streeter, It Won't Stop, in a Julian Calor remix. And before that, you heard the one and only Eminem and Rihanna, The Monster, in Nathan C's Bootleg. And yeah, I have to say it's kind of a shout out to Nathan C, because it's really, really hard to find the a cappella of Eminem and Rihanna together. You know, all the bigger artists kind of try to, you know, not release the separate stems so people can kind of see how they've done things on the vocals and stuff. So I think he just took the parts of the song, and I think he did that really, really well. So shout out to you, Nathan C. Thank you so much for this bootleg. And we just started the second half hour with TV Noise, one of their new songs, The Hold. It's time for some new music, some fresh talents, and there's so many good talent around the world right now, and you know, it's just crazy to see that people from, I think I saw a girl from 13 or 12 even pop up in LA making a new song, and you know, wanted to be a DJ, and I'm not quite sure of her name, but it was just 12, 13, and that girl produced the song herself. So I'm really, really excited to see that, and to see that everybody's just able to produce songs these days with just a laptop and maybe, you know, some headphones or some cheaper speakers. It's just all about the creativity you have, you know, like everybody can produce songs these days, and you just need to have the creativity and, you know, the discipline to be able to focus on, you know, what goals you want to reach. So I'm really, really happy to have new songs every week. And yeah, so we have him here for the first time, made in June. This is his new records. You're going to listen to Golden.
Protocol Radio. Fresh track of the week. Nothing but brand new tracks. Brand new tracks. Protocol Radio.
I
This was Morten Brown with a new song, Cloud Surfing in a Wolf of Wall Street edit. And I believe that's Leonardo DiCaprio secretly. Before that, you heard Orjan Nilsen and Jonathan Mendelsohn apart in a Martin Volt and Quentin State remix. And with that song, we kind of closed this episode of Protocol Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to know what we played, go to the website protocolradio.com. And I hope to see you guys at the same time and the same place next week. My name is Nicky Romero. Have a great day. Ciao.
Tune in, same time, same place next week when Nicky Romero returns to your airwaves with another episode of Protocol.